Welcome to the show, Melissa Whitehouse. You are a singer, songwriter, and now a scriptwriter with over 15 years' experience in the music and TV industry. You're host of London Girl, a weekly radio show broadcasting to over 30 countries. It's a magazine-style show with a mix of chart music, celebrity showbiz news, and interviews with film and TV and music. You're currently working on your next independent solo release. There's a lot to talk about with you. Thank you so much for joining us, Melissa, and please do tell us more.
Oh God, thank you so much. That was an amazing introduction. Thank you for that. Where do I start? I suppose really the release. I've actually kind of uploaded everything today and ready to kind of roll with the next single. So that will be out on April the 3rd. So a bit long awaited. I was hoping to get it out last year after having 3 songs out the year before and flying along. And then I ended up doing a radio show out in America. I did a co-host. I got an opportunity after being interviewed out there. And that just took things supersonic, especially as an independent artist. It gave me that chance to resonate with so many people. And because I'd obviously got a really good following with the show, it gave me a great foundation, which obviously as independent artists, it's very hard to get that profile and to get that airplay. Once that happened, I haven't really looked back, to be honest. It's been amazing to have the radio, have the vehicle, and actually have the creativity and a platform to have a voice as well, especially as kind of the early days of being an independent artist for myself. I've always written for lots of other people and had the joy of having my own recording studio and always nurtured other people with the journey. I didn't get much support at the very beginning of my journey. There was nobody in my family that played an instrument or even were in the local choir, nothing. It was just like, why do you want to do a sensible job? Why do you want to be a singer? You're not going to earn money. It's so hard to be a pop star. It's like trying to be an astronaut. And I've been on the most amazing journey since I was 16 years old. I basically sent a demo tape into a TV producer, and it was a show called The Word, which was the cult show on a Friday night.
I
That my
remember that.
dad
I
at
remember
the time
watching that.
said, "Oh, don't watch that. That's not good for you." Through the door, and I sent my demo tape in an envelope. I mean, this envelope was so big; it was handmade by me with love. I put the smallest kind of little cassette in there, and within 5 days, the phone rang at home. No emails. We're going way back, and got a phone call from the producer to say that LL Cool J could not make the set, and they had decided to do an Access All Areas demo band to get new artists on the show. And would I like to be one of the first to go on?
Oh, wow.
Which I said, yeah, absolutely. And he said, great, could you bring your band? I didn't have a band. I was with friends in their bedroom. I was like, you play saxophone, you do the drums, you pretend you're playing guitar. We hadn't rehearsed. And they sent a big limousine, and we jumped in the limousine. We went to Limehouse Studios in Wembley. I remember this girl coming up to me with the headset and the clipboard. It all looked very official. And she said, are you ready to do your live set? And I was like, oh, I thought we were going to be using a backing track, or, oh no, this is live. And as she opened the door, there was a 300 strong audience with people dancing and the warm up. And I was like, oh,
Wow.
oh my God, I can do it. I can do it. And I did. And I got through it. And to be honest, I think it was one of the best vocals that I'd done through fear, because I was out of my depth. And then afterwards, I got a phone call from a manager, and he said, you reminded me very much with your vocal tone of Cher and something that I would like to do with a girl band project. And would you like to be the lead singer? And then from that day, I didn't look back. And I remember waking my parents up at 2 o'clock in the morning because they'd paid me. I couldn't believe you got paid for doing that. So literally, I had to sign this form. They gave me a check. And I got home and I was like, you can make money from having the time of your life. So, yeah,
Love
I
it.
just loved it so much.
So this women's platform that you have, tell us about that.
Well, to be honest, Through my radio, I've been on quite a journey with my health over the last couple of years. And I was diagnosed with something that is not very common in the kind of female medical books and things like that. It's PMDD, a premenstrual dysphoric disorder. And it's something that has caused havoc for me in my life, to be honest. I've been through a heck of a journey. And it started to give me a platform to talk to other people about it. And I love the universe, the way it resonates and things and doors open. And I went to a networking event the other day and met two amazing people that work in the medical profession. And they've actually said that they'd give me advice to have a platform to talk to more women about it. But as I've got my radio show now, it is female focused. It's called London, Just a London Girl, but it's very magazine driven. It's very, how can I describe it? It's a bit like the Lorraine show that you get on ITV in the morning, where you've got lots of beauty, travel, but it's done in a radio format and it's done really well. It started off by accident around 20 weeks ago. I went through a big transition in my life and literally came out the other side, and somebody said to me, "You've got to continue doing your radio." I'd been in a kind of co-host situation, and they said, "If you come into the studio, what would your show be? And if you've got the place to record, can you come in and do something?" And I turned up with my notebook, with some ideas in my head, and I haven't looked back. I had some amazing celebrities come onto the show. I've got the best person in beauty and makeup who travels worldwide with all the celebrities and helping people break into the fashion and beauty industry. It covers travel, all different aspects, but one side it hasn't covered at the moment is a platform for kind of more of a health area. And that's something I think that would be very key. As much as the show is quite condensed in its small sections within the show of 5 to 10 minutes for people to talk about things, I'd like to have some spin-offs to kind of give some platforms and networking opportunities for some of these things that don't get really spoken about enough. I think Davina McCall is an amazing ambassador in the UK and worldwide for Voice, and with what she's just gone through. And I think it's really important that people document their journey. When they go through situations, I think we're very guarded sometimes, even in the public eye, that we have to have this perfect life. Everything's perfect, but we're only human. And I think if we can make these amazing people that put us on these platforms, that buy our records, that support our careers, to know that we are the guy or girl next door, that we go through the same things, there's that relatable thing that if they can have advice to go and get support, that it's there and they don't have to struggle in silence. My journey was tough. I didn't get the support I needed. I have finally, but it's been a 17-year journey. And I think my therapy with what I went through was within my music. That was my healing point, because I didn't know where to go or what to do. When I think doctors are telling you they're not 100% sure what to do and they're unaware of something, it's always very important to think, wow, well, okay, there's a serious problem here. We need to address this and to find out how we can solve this in another way. But from something that was negative, and with any illness or struggle, there's been so many blessings. If somebody gives me a curveball, I've got to put it into something good and take away the good. It's so important with life. I think we can all be very, down at, oh, it's happening to me, or why this, but 9 times out of 10 there's always something positive there, and you've got to see through the kind of challenges sometimes.
I want to ask you something that we ask all our guests.
Yeah.
And how much do you love music?
Oh God, it's like air to me. It's every breath I take, literally. Great lines for a song joke, but
yeah, right.
It is. I think that one's gone. I go to sleep thinking about writing something. I have a pad by the side of my bed, and I wake up in the night and I don't even really remember I've written lyrics or whatever. Since I was very young, I kind of had a fascination with music, always kind of watching Top of the Pops and seeing all the artists and the transitions of the journey. And it wasn't about celebrity. It was about the creative process. I just love being in that studio environment. I don't actually play any instruments. I can do basic notation on keys, but I had an amazing experience a few years ago now. I had an opportunity to write and put some ideas forward for the pop band Steps. It was kind of when everybody was kind of trying to put their ideas forward. Unfortunately, I didn't get the opportunity, didn't go any further, but we were shortlisted down to the last, I think it was 20 with the songs. And we couldn't get the middle eighth. We were all struggling in the studio. We got to a point, the rest of it was just perfect. I was like, oh, we've got to get it, got to get it. And it was so weird. I was literally driving in my car. It literally just came a full like orchestra. I could hear everything. I literally ran as fast as I could into that studio. It was just like angels. It was just all of these layered harmonies, all of these other kind of component parts for the keys. And they were like, where the hell did that come from? I was like it was played in my head. And I had to relay that in the studio. And we worked together as a team. There was a great team working on it. It wasn't just down to myself, but it was such an amazing experience. And I love music with all of my heart. And
How does it make you feel?
oh, it's like that. I can't even describe it sometimes. It's like I'm floating. I just love it so much just to be in an environment. When I'm around performers or I'm in a live environment on people on stage. I went to the Royal Albert Hall and had the privilege last year of interviewing John Oates when he came to London with Richard Marx. And to be in that environment, see that performance, it went so quick, the show, because I was just lost in transit. I was just onto every word, every note, looking at every single part. It was a very simplistic set as well, with just the 2 acoustic guitars. But the way that it was the energy, Skyler, it was the energy of music. I think that is what resonates the most with me. It just takes you to somewhere, doesn't it? And I think depending on your mood, where you are, who you're around, you can listen to the same song in 2 different environments and you'll have 2 different sets of emotions. And I think that's the beauty of music.
I just want to talk a little bit about your new solo release that you got, that you've been working on. First of all, a little bit about what sort of music is in the release and your own kind of process of how you're writing things. Is it some personal experience, or where are you getting the ideas and the actual songs coming from?
I must admit, I have been doing something a little bit bizarre, and I was speaking to somebody about it. Now, I don't know if you've ever done this, Skylar, with your songwriting, but it's not that I'm a clairvoyant and I'm not looking into a crystal ball, but I seem to be writing songs at the moment that kind of then happen further down the line. 9 times out of 10, I think a lot of writers write from experience or what's going on around them. Sometimes I will just write something, but what I've noticed recently is the process of the songs has been the journey that around 6 to 8 months later, I've gone through the moment. It could be a Netflix film. It's just the most bizarre thing. It's like I'm time traveling with the song. And writing it, going back in time, living it, and then getting to that moment. That's the only way I can describe it. It sounds a bit weird, but the last 3 songs have been personal experiences. I think I have had that moment when you look and resonate to amazing stars like the Adele, the heartbreak, and all of those things. It's most probably been my biggest year of growth of my journey of life, because I think I had every single challenge thrown at me through very close family members being unwell, my challenges with what I just spoke about, transition of life generally, how hard it's been after COVID for everybody, and how life has changed. So I think my writing as a scriptwriter and as a songwriter has been the transition really for me into the songs that I've written recently. So I'm very excited about the next song. It was a chance meeting with a composer, a TV film composer called John Brooks. I literally walked into the studio and he can just play anything. One of those annoying people, which I think, why can't I do that? And he was playing these just angelic keys. And I said, oh, I've got something. Can I go straight into the vocal booth? And he was like, yeah, sure. And literally within the first half an hour, we were flying. The whole song it was one of those moments when you know the song's going to work. it isn't your normal commercial pop song. It's a pop song, but it has got more of an orchestral element to it, which I think lends itself more to TV and film. However, if Adele was singing it, or Celine was singing it, or one of the bigger artists was singing it, it would get that kind of drive on radio to that element. I feel it's a very big song. It was a bit of a bold thing, I think, for me as a vocalist, because it was that kind of tug of, do I give that to somebody else?
Yeah.
Or do I try and have this moment? And when I was in the studio, I had great people around me, and they just said, go for the journey, do this part for you. And I've always supported other people. I've always come really close, and I've just missed that part. Or, for example, I was in a songwriting competition when I was like 16, and I came second out of 10,000 people. It's so close. But it's like, you've got to do a bit more work. You've got to do a bit more growth. And that's always been not a thorn in my side. I don't want to do it as a negative, but it's been my drive.
Yeah.
So every time I went to upload the track, I was a bit like, I'll leave it a few more weeks. I go, oh, shall I? No. Why have I got all this anxiety? Why have I got? It was a little bit like that. And again, another weird thing happened. Someone I was talking to, and having somebody that was having a read-in, and I just had the opportunity of speaking to someone, and I just said, I've got this date in mind. It's the 3rd of April. Is it a good idea or whatever? She was like, oh my God, yes, yes, yes. And I was like, okay. And it was really weird for that split second. The anxiety went away, and I burst into tears, and I'm thinking, why am I crying? This is a magical moment. But I think because I've gone through so much, I've now got to that point of thinking, this is my moment for me. And it's normally me in the crowd admiring that artist and whatever, and it would be lovely to have that admiration for a minute of me saying, I've created this, and take what you want from it. And I hope that creates that moment.
Yeah, I believe.
What do you think about social conscious, positive lyrical content?
Oh, it's just so important. All of my songs are a little bit like scripts. You always get that play at the beginning, that setup, and then you land on something. I will never land on an end of a song without there being something solved within it, or there being a positive message. And one of my songs that I done recently, everyone I've played it to has cried. And I'm like, why are you crying? Don't cry. And they're like, no, I can relate to it. And I'm thinking, that's where I found my strength recently as a writer. And the last lyrical line on that song is, we'll be okay. Because you go for that, and listening to the song, everyone's like, oh my goodness, would you be okay? And that payoff line at the ending just sets it of the smile from the sad to the, it's going to be okay. And I think that message is so important. I love so many songs. And there are lots of songs out there which are emotional and very sad and whatever, but it's always lovely to have that little silver lining in there.
People love hearing that you're going to be okay.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? It's a relief. Like, I know everything you've been through, but it's going to work out fine. I wrote a song, called "It's Going to Be All Right." It's going to be okay. Don't worry about tomorrow. Make it happen today.
Absolutely.
Right?
Yeah.
Tom?
Which do you like best? Because obviously the work you're doing with regards to London Girl and the kind of radio show, you prefer, I mean, you're probably going to go where I think you're going to go with this. Do you prefer the music side of things and producing your own material, or do you love the kind of the work you've been able to do with the radio show?
Oh, I love talking to people. I love connecting with people. So doing the radio show for me is just a dream come true. The beauty of the show is, obviously, I get to choose my playlist, the connection with music. I get to interview some amazing celebrities. So it's a fantastic mix for me to be a chatterbox, to get lots of chat. To be a chatterbox and to connect with people. But that's a really hard question. I do.
Don't make it easy on you.
He said I've got to choose one. I would say music, because maybe we could do a talky song, so I can still talk within the lyrical thing with it. But Yeah, I just the radio show for me and the connection. I've managed to get it to nearly 40 stations, um,
Amazing.
which is amazing.
Good going, yeah.
It's out in Asia. It's gone out to America. Has been quite unbelievable, and it was so funny the other day because I was kind of going through the different kind of stations, and three of them were on at the same time, and I'm thinking, wow, it's great. It's like, okay, it's on over in Arizona or it's over in New York, and I'm just like, this is great, guys. You've been amazing,
Yeah.
and now they're all saying, can we have your single as well, Mal? So I'm like thinking, it couldn't be any better. So any independent artist that's contacting me,
Yeah.
I'm just like, contact me if I can give you a platform or give
Sure.
you directions to a radio station.
Great.
I never had those tools.
Uh-huh.
If I've got these tools, I want to share them with you to give you that foundation, because it is hard, and some people are so talented. They lack in confidence, they don't know how to connect with people in the industry. And it is very closed door as well. It's taken a long time to get to where I am on my journey.
Yeah.
And lots of doors did close. And I had so many moments where I came so close. I think the funniest thing was recently I went through my catalogue of songs from when I was a teenager. And I get a phone call from a manager. I was ditzy. I literally turned up at the studio unprepared, few lyrics written in a pad. And he said to me, we've got a new artist breaking in America. And we just need a top line and some backing vocals. Could you go in and do the session? Fine.
Right.
Literally saw on the cassette, we're going back to cassette time, gave me a cassette, said that it was Marshall, whatever, USA, this, that, gave me the thing. He said, we're looking for another English girl as well, but we might have somebody a bit further along than you. I was like, okay, that's fine. Have you got an album? No, I haven't even got a demo. I'm behind. I'm literally kind of in La La Land thinking I'm going to be a pop star. It worked out to be Eminem. And
wow.
I didn't get the gig, but I recently found the demo.
Oh, wow. Okay.
Which I listened to, and I just moved house, and I was just like, I can't believe I found this. And it just made me realise how far I've come on this journey.
Yeah.
And what skills I needed to learn and whatever. And obviously the other female artists ended up being Dido and obviously Stan and White Flag and everything that came out. It was that time. But I hold that demo dear to me because what an amazing opportunity at such a young age that somebody actually gave me the chance to even get behind that microphone. And my goodness, how different my life would have been if I got given that chance. But then,
Melissa, bless you for the privilege of your time today.
Oh, thank you.
Thanks for joining us and spreading the love and some amazing information to our audience all over the world.
Amazing.
And Tom's going to get your information so we can spread the love that way. Okay.
Amazing. Thank you so much, Skyler. Thank you so much, Tom. It's been a pleasure.
Pleasure. Yeah, just want to know, really, just for our listeners and viewers, just to see if you've got any kind of social media presence you can give us the detail of, or maybe website that people can go off and check out what you're doing.
Of course, yeah. So if you go on to my website, that's at melissawhitehouse.com, or you can go on to X and Instagram. So it's just Melissa Whitehouse. So very easy to find. There's no excuse. And if you Google Just a London Girl, it's everywhere. So you will find me. There's no escape. There's no escape.
Wonderful.
Yeah, thank you so much. It's been a pleasure to meet you both today. And thank you, Skyler. Take care.
Okay.
Thanks, Melissa.
Much love to you.
Music can save the world. Music can save the world. If we all get together, music can save the world. Yeah. Music can save the world. Music can save the world. If we all come together, music can save the world. There's an urgency facing our humanity.
Thank you so much for watching. To stay up to date, please click subscribe and hit the bell. You can also join our group on Facebook and find us on LinkedIn and Instagram.